It's time for another Dave Day on this Wednesday. I'm John Eric Poi, playing second string quarterback for Ken Kara. But don't worry, Kenny will be back in the lineup starting next week. Dave, let's start with some local high school softball. North Schuylkill lost to Holy Redeemer 2-0, ending their season with a 25-3 record. Those 25 wins, a program record for North Schuylkill. What a great season.
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. You get through the Schuylkill League Division I, and they didn't even win the division, or actually, and they had to come back and beat Pine Grove, a team they lost to a few times during the regular season, and beat them in the district playoffs. So you beat the team that defeated you twice during the regular season. You get into the state playoffs, you win a couple state playoff games, and all's going well, and then you run into a buzzsaw in Holy Redeemer. It was now vying for their third state championship in 4 years, and they've had a fantastic run. But what North Schuylkill accomplished this year, it just sets the tone for a program. You want to see teams compete at the highest level, and they seem to get better and better as the season progressed. And kudos to them, because, like I said, they enjoyed the most successful season in program history, and a lot of good for the area, that's for sure.
And Dave, speaking of good softball teams, the Hazleton area softball team had a great year again this year. They lost in the Chamonix 15-4 in 5 innings in the state quarterfinal of the 6A playoffs. Dave, you were at that game, you covered it. What kind of happened that game? Because a lot of people were surprised by that score.
Yeah, the Chamonix team just jumped on the Hazleton area, Hazleton area's Erica Book. Erica Book was fantastic all season, but to the Chamonix's credit, they had a great scouting report on Erica Book. We said before, Erica Book's not the hardest thrower. She'd be the first person to admit that. And what Neshaminy did is they inched up in the batter's box, and dare say out of the batter's box sometimes too, to take advantage of their hitting ability too, because they're a fine hitting team and they play in a competitive district. And before Erica's ball would break, they were jumping on those pitches. They were timing her pitches very well. And you score 5 runs in the first inning, it's hard to come back in a softball game.
Yeah, but nonetheless, still a great season for the Hazleton area Lady Cougars there. And Dave, the best thing about this, their team's loaded. I mean, the next 2-3 years, they have mostly all those players back.
Yeah, the only starters you're losing are, center fielder Rebecca Rossi, second baseman Taylor Kashik, and Erica Book from that team, because there are a lot of talent, and it's a lot of young talent too, sophomores, freshmen, and they're going to be back. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. When you have somebody like Marissa Travelpiece and Tiana Treon coming back, Kira Antolik, they've been through the wars. Julia Mooney, Olivia Wolk, Julia Morocco. They've all gotten their experience. The last year and two.
And Dave, with North Schuylkill and Hazleton both losing, it is now the end of the high school sports season for us here in our viewing area. And what a great year it was for us this year. A lot of good teams. Obviously, the Hazleton area basketball team is the one that stands out the most to everybody. But some of the other ones to me that stood out was the Marion Catholic volleyball team placing second in the state. And also for Marion, Tina Caparel capping off a great career with a state gold in cross country and a second-place finish in track and field. Dave, what were some of the things that stood out to you this year?
Well, you look at I look at MMI, Jess McClellan in golf. She won the district championship this year. She got to qualify for the state golf championships. I did a feature story on her, and she's a fabulous young woman there. And the Hazleton area tennis team too. They did a lot of things that never been done before. Steph Mazurek won an individual championship this year. They won the team championship this year. The match Lily Nowak had in, I believe, was a team tournament this year. It was a real hot day in October, and I was fortunate enough to be there and watch her. She had a really battle a player from North Pocono, I believe it was, and the match went 3 hours, 3.5 hours for a high school tennis match. One match to go that long, and Lily survived it, and it was the spark to her team's victory. And again, they won a team championship. You look at field hockey; they had a great run to the district final once again. Got to play at Harmaguy Stadium. They lost a heartbreaker to Delaware Valley. And like the Hazleton area baseball team too. They had a nice run to the district final, sub-regional final this year. Had some adversity in the beginning of the season, but they bounced back and really put together a nice run at the end of the year and got themselves in position to get to the state tournament.
And Dave, obviously, like I said before, probably the #1 thing from this high school sports season had to be that run from the Hazleton area basketball team. And yesterday, or this week, I should say, the basketball team was honored by State Representative Toohill down in Harrisburg. We had it on our news yesterday. If anyone didn't see it, go check that out. But Dave, what an honor for the guys on that team to be honored at the Capitol like that.
Yeah, I mean, they've been honored, throughout the postseason too, and well deserved. I mean, we talked about them on this show many times, and what they meant to the community, to their school, and all fine young men, and the way they played basketball together, very unselfish, and it's just an example for any sports team too. You know, they didn't care who had to score the points or who got the glory, as long as the team got the W, and that's why they ended up so far and really on the cusp of a state championship, which would have been fantastic for the area.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you for your time. And hey, everyone, guess what? If you're a fan of Dave, well, you're in luck, because on Friday, Dave will be back for a special Major League Baseball edition of Dave Day right here on SSPTV News.